Thank you. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
How are you doing today?
Doing great. Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Man, I got to be honest with you. Sisu was amazing.
That's nice to hear.
There are very few movies that leave me as excited as I've been about this movie. I mean, it's just amazing.
That's so cool.
Where did the idea come from for this story? And is it any connection to the White Death?
No, it has not, but there's been an idea of doing like a very different kind of war movie from Finland, because it's like the whole Second World War thing. It's quite like, I don't know what's the word, but holy in Finland in a way that you really like can't have fun with that. Like no one has done it because it's they're really like serious drama films and really popular also in Finland, like the war stories. And that's what I was afraid of, what will happen if I do something like this. And to make it like an action, if you compare it like for what Americans are doing, even with the Vietnam War or everything like that, because they have had a lot of fun with that in the 80s and 90s. So it was cool to do it here in Finland, and I'm happy it was so well received.
Oh, it's off the charts, man. It's off the chart. I'm serious. Like, I was on the edge of my seat and I was yelling and covering my eyes with the dog thing that just tortured me. But it was so good. How did you pick the star? How did that kind of come about?
You mean the leading man?
Yes.
Well, I've worked with him with all my films, and we know each other really well. And he was the second I had the idea of doing something like this, I called to Jorma and explained this, and I never could have like imagined anyone else to do this than him. And I think we needed that kind of like trust and what we have with each other to pull this off, because it's not that easy to act in a film and not to have any dialogue, so and still going that strong.
Yeah, he was a perfect choice. I mean, you couldn't have gotten any better.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Right. I'm sorry, but I had a little bit of fangirl moment here. I just got maybe made me so excited. Where exactly was it shot? Because the locations, even though it's like muddy and gory, it's so pretty.
And it's the northest place in Finland where you can go. It's basically in the middle of nowhere, really hard to get there, and but it's definitely worth the struggle to get crew and all the equipment and the tanks and stuff like that to that place, because even though it was hard, it looks amazing, and it's a cool place to be.
It was stunning, and it was so odd, because not odd in a bad way, but you had this gorgeous landscape and you had all this gore and blood, and it just came together so well. I mean, it is a beautiful place. Have you always had a thing for history, since this film is, about history?
Well, not in that sense, no, but I've always wanted to make like an epoch film, because there's something really cinematic when you have all the old cars and old clothes and stuff like that. And when you have it there on the set, it starts to look like a movie, like itself already, like totally different than if you would be in a city shooting like people how they look now with normal clothes. You need to add quite a lot of things to make it like cinematic. But in that, what we were doing, it looked like movie without the camera even.
Right. Okay, I have to ask, which was your favorite scene?
I have a lot of favorite scenes in the film. I don't know. I really love the bank sequence in the end also, but and I think there's something really cool with the first encounter of the Nazi troops when Adam is just riding past the whole Nazi squad. There's something really good, like Western kind of vibe in it. It made me very happy when we were shooting it.
All right, and he has that expression on his face is so intense when he's riding by. I mean, he just looks like he's ready to kill somebody. And it's great. What are you hoping that audiences take away from the film?
Sorry?
What are you hoping that the audience takes away from the film?
Well, I hope they have like a really good time watching my like message of what Sisu means. And what I've been saying that the message in the end probably in the shortest version of it is like, don't fuck with the Finns kind of idea.
Right, and that's definitely a message in this movie. And I love it. I love it. Screw Nazis. Most of the there's so many action scenes and explosions, and was most of that done practically or CGI? Because it looked practical. It looked so real.
Well, a lot of it has been done practically, but almost everything we had to also like enhance with the VFX, because it was really difficult shooting in that location, and we didn't have time to make like a new takes of bullet hits or stuff like that. So it's a really I think it's really good combination of both worlds, and so it doesn't look like a superhero movie in a bad way.
Right. I mean, it did look good, and one of my favorite shots was in the minefield. When that mine hit that Nazi's head, and it just loved it. I was clapping, I was yelling, I was like, get him. It was so good. I can't help but ask, how did you go about getting this character so right, and us knowing so much about him without saying so much? I mean, that's hard to do. I mean,
it is, but it took me a while to get into the mode of not having dialogue, to force myself to think like cinematic way, more cinematic way, because we are not doing like a radio play or something like that. We are doing a movie. So I think that was a really good experience and a learning process also for me, to trying to figure out ways to how to explain something without dialogue, and it like automatically like produces a good cinematic way of telling things. And I'm gonna do more of that in my next films.
next films? Do we already have one in the works?
I have a couple, and something even more badass is coming.
Really? How? That's impossible, man. That I'm telling you, this movie has got me just, and I don't get like that about many movies. So it's, I mean, it's a big compliment. And the way you use the animals to manipulate audience was very smart.
Yeah, well, that's one of the, what I was talking about, cinematic ways of explaining things, because Atami doesn't have that much of like relationship with anyone else but his dog and his horse. So they are really important things to build the character and making audience to like him.
Right. Well, my time seems to be up. And I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. And I can't wait till everybody sees this movie, because I know it's going to be big. And it's so awesome. And it was a pleasure to be able to watch it. And I
Thank you
can't
so
wait
much.
to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a great day, okay?
Same to you.